What's up guys, Richard here. So last time I was working on a dinosaur sculpt, a sculpt of an Allosaurus. Now that was the third time ever I had actually done any form of sculpting and I really enjoyed the process. In fact, what you can see me doing in the video right now is I'm building out my own alpha brush, which allows me to just instantly sculpt a specific pattern onto the skin of the dinosaur. The mistake I made here was that I took a skin or a texture that was super low resolution and then tried to apply it to my dinosaur, which then resulted in like shocking details. Anyway, the whole time I was doing this, I was thinking, why am I making a dinosaur? That's really not going to help towards my end objective of making a horror game. Instead, I should come up with some type of horror concept. And that's when it hit me, the most awesome idea ever. So the idea came from basically an app I use roughly daily, not that often anymore, but basically it's a language learning app, and the mascot of that app is called Duo, and it's basically this owl. And people make jokes about this owl. They say, you know, he looks like a serial killer or a murderer, and it probably doesn't help that it randomly generates sentences for you to try and translate into your target language, and some of those sentences are just like pure evil. Like, there was actually a video that went pretty viral about just the random sentences that Duo basically comes up with. It's strange stuff. Anyway, I was sitting there and I was thinking, this guy really is evil looking when I was staring at my phone, and he's got kind of this threatening manner where if you don't do your language practice for the day, he just starts bugging you. And I thought, what would be a cool concept? Well, a cool concept would be, what happens if you're trying to run away from this dude and he's trying to chase you down to punish you for not doing your language practice or whatever. The idea was this: I'm going to make a game as part of a game jam. And for those who don't know, a game jam is just when you basically say, okay, you've got like 2 days or a week or whatever to make a game and get it done. The idea is that if you can complete it in those 2 days or week or whatever, then, you know, you've actually made something, because a lot of things that programmers and artists, we all suffer from, is just procrastination. We start a project and never really finish it. So I've set myself kind of this little goal to make a Duolingo themed horror game. And I'm going to try and have this completely done by next Friday. Now, next Friday, I'm not sure when that is. It's the 4th today, so you can do the calculation of whenever this video comes out. And I'm going to basically have a game where you are running through corridors or you're running through an open field. I don't know. You're just going to be running. And the whole time, your objective is to get to your phone and do your language lesson. And your phone is like the end point of the level. And you've got to get there fast, and there's going to be like a timer going off. And the whole time, this owl is going to be chasing you. He's going to be like trying to take shortcuts to get to you. And if he gets to you before you get to that phone, well, then you're going to get violated by the owl in a very painful way. So anyway, this then set in motion a bunch of events. I now needed to make a character. I needed to animate him. I needed to rig him, texture him. So I'm a programmer. That's my background. I'm not a 3D artist, although I'm a kind of wannabe 3D artist. I'm just a dirty programmer. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to build this owl. So I went and found, obviously, some reference images. You saw that earlier in the video. And I started putting the owl together, and I learned a ton just doing this alone. For one, I found out that I am shocking at UVs, and I find out after the fact I've UV'd and I've started to texture him up. You'll see some of that coming up where you can clearly see that my UVs are not that great. So I'm going to have to really focus on that. A second issue I kind of noticed was that Blender, really, it's not that great for doing just texturing. So there's like 3 brushes within it. You've got your standard brush, you've got your blur brush, and then you've got your what is it called? It's the smudge brush. Now, I was speaking with one of my mates who is an actual 3D artist. He specializes in foliage, and he suggested that I go get Substance Painter and try that out. I'm still technically a student at the Academy of Interactive Entertainment, so I can do that. And I'm going to do that. And this is really funny, this point in the video. You can probably see it right now. I'm filling in a hole where Dua's bum was meant to be, because I put a mirror modifier in place and then obviously did not put it properly and left a gaping hole there. You'll see that happen every now and then. But what I'm doing right now in the video is I'm just applying a basic, I'm going to call it like an undercoat like pattern. I don't know if there's an actual word for it. Here I'm doing up his legs. I'm giving him some knuckles and not really doing it well. The problem was that I've subdivided, like I've got a subdivision modifier on this mesh, and basically what that does is it takes the very low poly mesh the underneath one and then just like cuts it up into like smaller pieces, which allows me then to easily modify and apply all these details. Anyway, I worked on that for a while, and then I got to the texturing phase. Now, I forgot to film the first part of this because, I don't know, I was half asleep or something, and you can see I'm just grabbing the colors from the mascot, and oh, did you see that? You can see the UVs on the between toes there. Oh my god, they're shocking. That there, it looks like a shear that was created when I baked in the normal map, which is basically, in the past people would call it a bump map. I still kind of call it that, but artists laugh at me when I do. But basically, it just creates like a bumpy effect when light shines upon him. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing here is I'm starting to add some undershadow around his eyes. I think the eyes actually came out really well, and it's kind of got like a I don't know, a water paint aesthetic to it. And I put some veins down there because I kind of wanted to give like a zombified appearance, but then halfway through I was like, actually, you know what, zombified does not really work. How about just super aggressive owl? Anyway, you can see here I put some blood spatters along him to make him a bit more like fearsome. Called him Evil Duo, which is kind of a play on my Esperanto YouTube name. So next up, I was pretty ambitious. I thought, okay, I'm going to animate this guy. I'm going to get him running around a level and everything within like just 2 days of starting him. So what you can see here is I'm adding some bones, and I've uploaded him to this website called Mixamo to try out these bones, and as you can see, the animations are terrible, or maybe they're awesome. It really depends. He's more terrifying when he's all shredded to pieces like that, but that was definitely not what I was going for. So I decided, you know what? We'll deal with the animations and the bones tomorrow. Instead, I actually want to see what he would look like in a level. So I imported him into a level, and then I totally forgot that Blender and Unreal Engine work on totally different scales, which meant that he came in the size of a pea. And obviously, no one is afraid of an owl the size of a pea. And it was funny, when I was working with the materials, I kind of noticed in the material editor just this one giant eye, and I thought that was kind of cool. But what I'm doing right here is I'm adding an emissive to the eyes so that his eyes basically glow, and then I just ran around him a bit, shot at him, just trying it out, seeing how it worked, and I thought, okay, let's just build him a little display room. You know, he needs a little room that he can sit in. Every evil owl needs a place to rest. So I built out some walls, as you can see I'm doing right here. I'm lifting him out, putting a little roof on top, and I was like, yeah, this looks awesome, put him inside there. Okay, well, obviously we need to make it nighttime because he's only evil at night. At daytime, he's I don't know, customer service agent. Anyway, so I'm putting it up here, building lighting, which is like the main thing that happens in Unreal Engine. If you've ever worked in Unreal Engine, you would know that basically you just sit there constantly building lighting. That's like 50% of your day. So anyway, again, building lighting. This time it's at nighttime. Yes, come on, build. Yes, there he is. But now he's just two glowing eyes at nighttime. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to quickly just add a torch in here. So to do that, what I did is I add like a I guess it's not a point light. It's a directional. No, it's not directional. God, I can't even remember. It's a light. Okay, I added a light. I forget the name. Spotlight. That's the one. I added a spotlight, and then I just set up a basic key switch so that when I press F, it basically just turns the light on and then turns it off as needed. And lo and behold, we have an evil owl at nighttime that does absolutely nothing. But he does look awesome. At least he looks awesome to me. So you can see here, Unreal just comes out of the box quite beautiful. You don't have to do much to get lighting or anything up and running. But this is basically the idea. He will just be chasing behind you, his big glowing eyes. If you spend time, turn around and look at him, you die. So the whole idea is that you're just going to be running and he's going to be charging after you, probably whispering random sentences in Esperanto or some other language just to scare the hell out of you. And when he gets closer, the camera's going to start shaking, the ground's going to shake, and you're just going to flip out. Anyway, that's pretty much the entire project. Don't know why I shot that box, but he must have looked at me funny. So if you've liked this video and you like what I'm doing here with my random game jam and horror games and stuff, definitely sub to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends because that will help me grow the channel and will allow me to do more awesome stuff like this.